This is Seth, keeping it real. The craziest thing happened. One of my business partners and I decided to launch a new product. And I'm going to tell you a lot about what that product was. And there's a reason I'm sharing this. This product is called a baby wedge pillow. It's also called an infant sleep positioner. And what it means is it's like this wedge pillow on one side, and the baby can roll up against it, and it keeps them from falling off a couch or a bed. It just keeps the baby in place. So we did a lot of research, and my business partner, who's very smart, he took that item and another baby item, and he had this idea of combining them into one, because both had huge demand, but no one was selling a combination of the two items. And I want to tell you guys, sometimes the best way to come out with a new product safely, it's not so new that you don't know if anyone's going to buy it or not, but it's new enough that no one else can even touch it, is you take the best of one item, the best of another, and if they're complementary and they create a holistic experience for your customer, you combine them into one. So he did a ton of research. He found a supplier, sent them technical drawings, they drew it up, they sent several samples, perfected it, got it down to a size so it was still not too big in order to minimize FBA charges, not too heavy as well, and got it to a place where it was just about perfect. Then he went out and shared it with a whole bunch of moms and asked them, what do you think of this? And we even talked to a patent lawyer to try to get it patented as well. We were ready to launch this product. We were just about to drop around 15 grand on the first shipment. We had the images ready, we had the copy done, we had everything ready to go. But what I did 2 weeks before we were ready to drop the 15 grand is I thought, I should create a listing in Amazon just to make sure there's no issues. So I created a listing in our Amazon store and I waited and nothing happened. And usually if you create a listing, Amazon will tell you quite soon if there's a restriction on the item, if you need to get some kind of certification like a child product safety certificate or a CPC certification or REACH certification if you're selling in Europe or whatever it is. And we waited and it took 2 weeks, and 2 weeks later we got this flag on our account. You know that lovely flag you love to see at the top left? So we went and I looked at it and it said this. If you hover over the flag, it'll say, please check under performance and then performance notifications. And it said, notification of restricted products removal November 22nd. So I opened that and it says, hello from Amazon. We are writing to let you know that the following detail pages have been removed from our catalog. And the title, Baby Wedge Pillow. This product has been identified as an infant sleep positioner. Amazon policy prohibits the sale of these products. For more information, search for restricted products and listing restrictions and seller help. And I thought, wow, I don't ever remember seeing anything about this being restricted. We searched those very well before we launch any product. So I went back and I looked at all the restriction categories in Amazon. I looked at every single one, from restricted kind to kind that needs special reviews to certifications to everything possible, and nothing said wedge or pillow in combination with the word baby. We hit Command F, we looked at every single page. And I thought, what is going on? Oh, maybe someone at Amazon who doesn't know what they're doing, they just thought, oh, we should do a restriction on this because we heard of issues. And so they just decided to flag our account and restrict the sale of that item. Well, then we did a little more research. We began to search online. And we ended up at the most interesting post, and it tells you the power of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. I want you to see what they said. Do not use infant sleep positioners due to the risk of suffocation. And then it has all this information on why you should never use infant sleep positioners. They even put in here a very heart-tugging, if they're not going to allow a teddy bear to have a sleep positioner, how much more a baby? No, but seriously, I want you to see this. Okay, you guys get the idea. That comes out from the FDA. Amazon sees that. Let me tell you, they're going to restrict the item. Now, here's what really threw me off before I discovered this resource here with the FDA. There were a lot of other sellers selling baby wedge pillows. So I'm sitting here thinking, why can't we? What's going on? Our account is in really good standing. We have an incredible sales history. Why can't we do it? And then it hit me. People who already started selling a while ago have not been removed yet. But I know of another seller who started selling wedge pillows, and Amazon said you can't sell these, and he already dropped several thousand. So then I thought, wait a minute, they are restricting the item before they even wrote the policy, and this is very common. You need to know this about Amazon. Just because Amazon's policy does not say this is restricted, does not mean it's not restricted. They can still restrict it. They just haven't updated their policy yet. They move to action first and writing later. In fact, that's often why their policy, you read it and it's not updated and you wonder what's the discrepancy here. You need to research outside of Amazon to understand the bigger picture. If the FDA is saying don't do it, I'm telling you, Amazon's not going to do it either. And one by one, as we looked at the sales history, more and more were being removed. And someone might think, oh, that means the demand's going down. In this case, Amazon is knocking them off one by one. The irony is Amazon sells them themselves. Not the exact item we had. Ours was unique and different and was going to absolutely crush it. But now I am so thankful we did not drop that $15,000. Make sure you do your research before you make a move on Amazon. And 3 lessons here. Do your research first before you decide to source something. Research it outside of Amazon. Lesson number 2, post it on Amazon. Go to Seller Central and create the listing. Even if you don't have inventory yet, it doesn't matter. Within a week or 2, you should receive a notification if there's some kind of restriction on that item. Then you can go back and say, okay, can I get the certification or the approval needed before I source this? Is that even possible? Is there going to be a hazmat issue or something else? Understand that Amazon does not update their policy. They can restrict anything they want. You're selling on their platform. And the third lesson from this is do not put all your hope in a product. You know what's funny about it? I felt a little bit discouraged, but not that much. And 2-3 years ago, I would have felt devastated. But the reason I didn't is because I have learned not to put my hope in a product. I realized no product's going to save me. You can launch 3 products and one of them crushes it, but the other 2 do nothing. That's what our team does. We help to de-risk you as much as possible. Just last week, someone in our group fired his boss. He's doing over $17,000 a month. He's been with our team only for 4 months, and he's absolutely crushing it on Amazon. How is he doing it? He's differentiating himself. Another thing you can take from this video is find something that's selling really well over here, something else that's selling well. Put them into one. Create a new product. Even if you have to pay for a mold, that can absolutely help you. That will differentiate you like no one else. But just make sure there are no restrictions. You guys keep crushing it out there. I'll see you later. Bye.